So welcome to Tiny Toys Tuesdays, episode 7. We're almost to 10 of these guys now. So today we're talking about the Blades of Khorne new Battletome, which is exciting, I think. I've got some reservations on it, but from some GT events that I'm seeing on BCP and whatnot, it seems like it's doing well, so that's good. So that's decent. I guess we'll start with just what's everyone up to. I am still building the Sylvaneth. I've got one model left, and then I'm done. And then I'm putting
one model.
this. What?
Oh no, one model.
It's a Tree Lord, but still, one model. And then I'm done putting this away, and I'm gonna start building some. I gotta finish a bunch of Kyric Acolytes that I have sitting in a box. I just want to get those out of the way. Now that I have a Zinch army. So yeah. So we'll turn it over to Camaron. What have you been up to lately?
I've been drooling and slavering over the new death books that are coming out, and then making bad decisions and playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. I still got to come over for one of the draft nights. Yeah, the new death books are on pre-order this weekend, right?
Yes.
Cool. Hopefully, I've heard the rumor that OBR is no longer using RDP points, so rest in peace.
If only. I can hope, I can dream. We'll find out.
I think they're going to be really good if they can go back to using regular command points. That'll be scary army. James, what are you up to?
Well, I got my son home from the hospital for the first time.
Yes, congratulations. You got your baby home now.
Yep, so I'm now spending a lot of time doing dad things. And then it actually has opened up a lot of my painting time, so I've been working on some Slaanesh Fiends. But it's real easy with a wet palette to just pop the lid on, tend to the baby, goes back to sleep, take it off, start painting again.
That's good.
It's a strat.
Yeah, it's a strat. I think it's a good strat. All right. Well, are you? Do you have anything AOS related coming up? I'm sure you're probably super busy with the kiddo, but
no tournaments on my end. I've actually handed all of that stuff off to the other guys that are kind of in the club up there at Old World Games.
Okay.
I'm getting ready Wednesday to turn over the terrain to Matt Baugh for you guys to run the GT in September. So if you want to know where all that terrain came from, it's this guy.
There will be we haven't announced anything yet, but be on the lookout. House of Hobbies is going places. So excited about the Smite GT coming up, so that'll be fun. All right, let's jump into the new book. As always, here's the tier list explanation. S tier is obviously something that's gonna go 5-0 consistently. Also, for our reviews here, we don't deep dive into anything crazy. We're not going through every war scroll. We're not going through every artifact. It's just we just basically pick what we like, what we don't like, and kind of tier it, right? So very subjective, but also, that's what you get with a tier list type of review. So I recommend if you want to go do a deep dive in any of this stuff, there's plenty of channels out there that do this and do it well. Facehammer, Warhammer Weekly, Season of War, I think, did some of the reviews for. I know they did it for Khorne. So definitely recommend going to check those guys out for more of a deep dive. But here we just do a generalized review / tier.
And I will find one unit that I will fall in love with.
And I
will try to convince you that
yes,
it's amazing.
And I'll mark it as like F tier, and then Camaron will be like, no! It's going to go in every list, and you're going to see it everywhere. Which have you seen a Chaos Gargant anywhere? Have you?
Yes, James runs it.
Oh, okay.
All the time.
All right.
So does Colt.
All right. We're moving
Oh
on.
man, what is that? 2 points for Cameron. Thank you.
All right.
The only problem is now that Slickblade Seekers or the Splitsbarb Seekers are so much better. So if you can
Yes.
take those instead of you, that's what people are doing now.
Okay.
100%.
All right. So let's just go over the quick overview. This is what I have, and I'll get your guys' take. I think it's a B plus tier army. I know there's a lot of people for GTs and stuff that are and just regular RTTs that are they're doing well with blades right now. So this might go up for me. It looks like a B plus tier. I think this is a consistent 3-2-4-1 army. I think that in the right hands, this is kind of where they are. I think you got to be really good, or the book has to be really new for new players on a 5.0. There's a lot of things that still counter this army. The blood tithe abilities are incredibly powerful. It is take away all the war scrolls. The blood tithe abilities themselves are incredibly powerful. I can't see how some of these made it past their design team, but they're really good. And then summoning is very much like Slanesh. There you have it, but you're not going to be spending a lot of points on summoning. Versus some of the abilities you can do with the blood tithe points. And with this book, the blood tithe points are going to be, you're obviously going to get them a lot less than, say your depravity points for Slanesh. So you're going to want to use a lot of these abilities that are in here because they're just really, really good. There will be a edge case where you do summon something, I'm sure, but for the most part, you're going to be spending them on the blood tithe table. And then lastly, this is a Timmy Johnny army. I think we probably all agree here. Very little spike, but I could see a case for it. Basically, that's what I got for the overview. James, we'll go to you first. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat here. I think it's a B army. I think it still suffers against the top. I played against this army with Beast of Chaos, and I felt really strong. Even though I was getting hit hard, I felt like Beast handled Khorne very well, and they're pretty prevalent in the top of the meta. I think Gitz would do well into them. Lumineth. Tzeentch might struggle. My Tzeentch battle against Khorne, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Ranged ward saves when they're outside 8 inches.
Yeah.
Casting spells can give them blood ties, which becomes a really cascading effect.
Yep.
Makes it a very difficult matchup for Tzeentch.
Yeah, they have the auto unbind too for the blood type, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think for the summoning, I think the summoning here is what we call a feels badsy situation, because you're always going to use it for your abilities. But if you're using it for your demons, you've probably already lost so much of your army that it doesn't really matter anyways.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep, that's totally fair.
And then I would say that it's I would say Johnny Timmy more than Timmy Johnny is where
Sure.
I'm leaning. But
Sure.
I same category. I don't think there's any spike in this at all.
Yeah, I said very little. I mean, maybe an edge case, but very little spike on this. Cameron, your thoughts?
All right. I have no idea where to tier this army. I want to say it's at that B plus, but at the same time, I absolutely love some of the absolute ridiculous things you can do with this.
Yeah.
Like just throwing Scarbrand 24 inches out in the area.
Yeah.
What is that? Suddenly, I summon a skull catapult. Sorry, a skull cannon. Woo! Oh, do you have a lot of spell casting? Well, now my entire army has a 4-up ignore instead of a 5-up ignore. There's just so many fun things you can do, but I don't see this being a constant like 5.0.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think there's going to be a lot of 4-1s with this, with good players. Especially for it being so new, I think a lot of people are going to be caught off guard with this blood tithe table.
If you don't know how to counter them, they will hurt hard.
Yes.
However, if you know how to screen well,
Yep.
I think you will hurt your opponent way more than they are going to hurt you.
Yep. Agreed.
I'm talking 20 direwolves.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. Back to the
gore.
death. It always goes back to death with Cameron. Um,
30 gore.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
All right, let's go into the battle traits. Locus of Fury, I rank this as an A because it's really good. Having the 5-up board outside 8 inches um, for all the demons, yeah, Bloodthirsters, here I come, right? Super good, super good. No complaints from me. I think this is a cool ability, and it gives the demon side for Khorne a little bit more of a advantage here. I think so. Um, pretty good. Um, any thoughts for Locus of Fury? I think we're all on the same page here. 5-up, five
Real
up
good.
board.
Real
I,
good.
I like it, and I like it as a someone versus them because I can actually plan around how to get rid of the Locus of Fury.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be shooting you. All right, so I need someone to be able to get up close to you, and then I can shoot you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's why one of the reasons why I say that they struggle against Lumineth still, because you could have Severeth just shoot up across the board, and then I'm going to shoot you with all my Sentinels now. Now that he's right next to you. Oh, and then instead of the shooting phase, I'm just going to move him away now. Oh, congratulations, you lost your army.
I don't need to be there anymore.
Um, moving to the murders to the last. I'm curious. Do you guys feel like this is? You're kind of in 3 camps here when you play this book, right? You're either gonna go heavy demons to get the Locus of Fury. You're gonna go heavy mortals, and I think that's a lot of the Bloodbound, right? And then you're gonna go maybe a soup, where you're gonna combine them. Do you? What are your guys' thoughts on what's gonna be more prevalent? Is it gonna be more demons or is it gonna be soup?
I think demons are way more competitive. However, I absolutely love the idea of doing a whole bunch of crazy guys that are just there to die instantly,
The murders
and
to the
then
last.
just murders to the last,
Yeah.
and then throw a whole bunch of buffs on it because I know there's ways to get more dice rolls,
Yep.
and just be able to. Oh, do you want to go after me? Ha! I have to a certain extent, a better Stormcast explosion.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, murders to last is I said is it's a better Nurgle disease, right? Because you don't have to worry about diseasing. And you don't have to max at 7. Like you just roll every 5 up for things that are bloodbound that die. Just get a mortal wound, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I would say Stormcast is almost better though because you get to roll for each wound that you lose on a 6-up. This is per
Yes.
model.
The difference
Yes.
there though is this is more horde. You're not gonna have 30
So
freaking liberators or whatever, right? You're gonna have like these. You can put 30 blood warriors or whatever, throw them into something, and then be like, okay, good luck.
the list that I've run against or seen recently, even when they're skewing mortals, have just been like the Mighty Skull Crushers. So they're just running spamming Mighty Skull Crushers, and this
Yeah, you're never
ability
gonna
means
use it.
nothing.
You're never gonna
Means
use
nothing.
it. Yeah.
He totally forgot to roll them in our game, and it would have mattered 0.
That's why I think murders to the last I think is actually probably even lower than an A because you've really got to build into it. I think.
Yes, but if you build into it, I think it's going to be so much fun.
I
But
agree.
you have to build into it. Like if you don't, then there's no point.
Aren't you so susceptible to shooting at that point, though?
Yeah, but you were always susceptible to shooting.
And in this army, you're always going to be right.
Yeah.
And in that case, you take demons. All right. So Hatred of Sorcery. This is the 5-up spell ignore, right?
Yep.
So this is it's pretty typical for a Khorne army, right?
It's really good.
Yep, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
absolutely amazing.
Really good.
Yep. For the whole army with no ranges or anything, yeah, it's pretty good.
So it's like an A with just being a 5-up, but it's like S tier for me because it also gives you a blood tithe.
Yeah, 100%. The fact that it gives you a blood tithe.
Oh, I forgot about
It's
the blood type
so
point. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this is like
Yeah.
an A ability for me.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it's
definitely.
it's the hands down to me like one of the best abilities they've got in the book.
I'm definitely moving that to A. I forgot about the blood tithe points. Now, obviously, if you play an army that literally has no casting, then obviously this is a lot worse. But any time where you can get blood tithe points in this, even if it's 1 or 2 or whatever, you need to do it because again, these abilities are just too good to not. I mean,
You're like begging your opponent to cast an endless spell, so you could just go stand by it and roll as many 5-ups as you want.
I literally just want to like bring like 3 bloodthirsters and fill the rest of my army up with just 10 like bloodletters and just boom, 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 and just send them all in and be like, kill them.
Look at your opponent taking a techless and go, please techless bomb me.
Yes, please kill all of my stuff. Yeah, for sure. So next is the Legion of Chaos. This is the Coalition rule. I put some things on here. I don't know how, if we're going to see a lot of this stuff. Maybe Vanguard. Also, you can't bring...
Wizards.
You can't bring wizards, which means... Can you
Still
not
make a
bring...
wizard, though.
Can you not bring Archaon in this?
I think it's Archaon's own rule that you can do it, not the Coalition rule.
But... Oh, maybe.
Because
that's
he's a war
interesting
master.
because he's a wizard, though.
Yeah, it's the War Master ability that allows him to do it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. So...
But you can always just make a wizard. Just give somebody Arcane Tome.
Yes, and that's the only... I think that's the only way you can get a wizard in this army is to give Arcane Tome to someone.
Or Archaon.
Or ally in something.
Yeah.
No, you can't ally anything that has a wizard keyword, can you?
I don't think there's that restriction on allies. I think just coalition.
No. On the table it says you can't. So on the table it says Beasts of Chaos are the only ally, and you can't do anything with Zinch or Slanesh, and it can't have a wizard keyword. So there's no way to get a wizard in here other than an Arcane Tome.
Huh.
So, I mean, that makes sense, right, Scorn? It's the way they should play. Honestly, it'd be weird for you to take Arcane Tome in here anyway, I think. I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mystic Shield.
I
Yeah,
know.
100%.
It's super good, but, I mean, some of the artifacts are okay.
Move your Bloodthirsters up to a 2-up. I think they moved them to a 4-up, right? Or a 3-up. I think they're a 3-up.
3-up. They're a 4-up right now. So you
Okay.
bring them up to a 3-up.
Yeah. So now you can make them a 3-up, ignore 1.
Yeah, with all out defense, yeah.
Oh, or the prayer, 3-up, ignore 2.
Yeah. You do have the prayer, yeah. Which is super good. The prayer is really good. Alright, so any of these you want to call out, though? Any other coalition you want to call out? Cockatrice, obviously, is super good.
I want to say that their summoning is better than the Slanesh summoning.
Oh, you're talking about the summon. We're not there yet, Cameron.
Yes.
But I agree with you.
You can bring Slanesh, right? You just can't bring Slanesh wizards?
It's just beasts.
Just beasts?
Yeah, that's the only ally.
That's a change. That's a change.
I was a little surprised on that too when I read it. I was like, just beasts, really?
Wow.
Okay. No, you could only bring in beasts. So I guess I gotta remove a lot of the slaves because I thought you could bring slaves, but I guess you can't. Oh
Well, I
no,
guess
the
you're
coalition. Coalition you can.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, you can do coalition.
Coalition,
So it's interesting because these guys will not get access to Bliss Barb Seekers, so they're going to be one of the unit guys that take a Chaos Gargant.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We'll go before we get to the Blood Tithe table. We'll go to the summons. Kind of what Cameron brought up. I think they're better than Slanesh, but I think I still don't know when you're gonna. I just don't know when you're gonna do them.
They're better for Slanesh for just one reason, and that is you can take a Skull Cannon, and just so you can just put in some range.
There's
summoning.
no way. I am not
just like
spending
Skull
5
Cannons.
Blood Tithe points on a Skull Cannon when I can do so much other stuff.
You are if you're taking 20 individual units of 10 of their little basic guys.
All right, fair enough. You got me there. Any comments on the summons, James?
No.
Yeah, I just
Like I said, if you're summoning, you've probably already lost the game, and you're just trying to get some bodies on the board.
Yeah, I agree. We'll move on to the Blood Tithe table, which I mean S+. This is obviously
It's so good. It
It
has
is
a little bit
absolutely
of
ridiculous.
everything in the game.
the strongest one though at 1 Blood Tithe point. How did this get by the design team for this? So for 1 Blood Tithe point, which you can actually start the game with if you get an artifact. I think it's an artifact or command trait or something. Up to 3 different Blades of Khorne units more than 3 inches from enemy units can move D6. Roll separately. They can finish. So you're just taking and it's not D3 units. It's 3 units can move D6 at the is it end of hero phase?
End of hero phase.
Yeah, I mean, for 1 blood tithe point, are you for real? Like that's crazy good. That's super good.
Only
I
because
know
you can
the
do it during your
D6
opponent's turn.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that D6 is obviously it's going to be it's not going to be consistent, right? But just the fact that you can do it basically for free.
The reason why it's so powerful for people just don't understand is that it says that you can finish the move within 3 inches of an enemy. So during your opponent's turn, right before they're about to do everything, you could throw in one of those really cheap, I forget what the really cheap mortal people, and just tie something in combat. And now it ruins their movement. Now they have to go ahead. Yeah, if it's a shooting, they have to go ahead and shoot that person. It ruins so many plans just for this thing that your opponent can't control.
Another combo here, because it would happen simultaneously, is you've spent your turn, but you know you're not going to be able to charge, so you run so that you're like outside of 3 inches, but you're not charging because you ran. And then you have 5 blood tithe. You use the first one to pile in the D3 or the D6, and so you get within 3, and then you use your 4 to fight in the hero phase.
Yeah.
So
you can only spend it on you can only do a blood tithe ability once.
Can you?
I believe I saw that somewhere. Once at the end of each hero phase.
Oh,
okay. So
you can't
I mean, that's
combo
good. That's probably
Okay.
good. It's probably a little
Yeah.
broken if you could do multiple.
I think that's the big balancing factor because you only get 10 blood tithe in the entire game, blood tithe abilities in the entire game, and 2 of those are probably not going to happen because it's the first round.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of these other ones, the meteor is fantastic.
I love the meteor. The
meteor
so
is so good. If I've already seen a battle report where I think it was season 4 where they did the meteor and then they they did the invocation with the D3 battle shock thing, and they like almost took out a complete unit without even touching them. They just used a blood tithe ability, and it was so good. That meteor is fantastic. I don't know how often you're going to get all the way down to to the last one, which is +1 to attacks for basically the entire army. I don't know how often that's going to happen, but these are all just super good. And I think that's what makes this army as powerful as it is. So,
yeah,
any
without
other
blood tithe, you're not going to massive army with this.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the battle traits? All right, let's move on to the command traits. These are split in between demons and bloodbound. Bloodbound are the mortals. So I said for the command traits, all are pretty good. And the one that I called out 2 of them. Favored by Khorne, which is the at the beginning of the game, you get the 1 blood tithe point, which gets you that 3 units to move D6. It's a good pre-game movement, so that way it helps you move your... Some of this stuff is really slow in this army, so it helps you move that stuff up. And then the other one I called out was Unrelenting Hunter, which is the... this is if the general is fought in the phase and is within 3 inches of any enemy units, this general can make a pile-on move. Alternatively, at the end of the combat phase, if this general fought in that phase and is more than 3 inches from the enemy units, this general can make a normal move or attempt to charge, which is super good if you're running like Bloodthirsters and you know you can kill something and then charge into something else. It's super good.
Yeah, just the free movement. But my favorite out of all of them is the Embodiment of Wrath, just because I love the idea of just hordes and hordes of bloodletters coming forward and just never being able to kill any of these guys.
And they are a lot harder to kill now.
Like bloodletters are, I think, just a full bloodletter army. I think is extremely scary.
Yeah, and it's really cool that they got a glow up because they needed it pretty bad. So I think bloodletters are one of the best glow ups in the army. So grow bloodletters. Anything else on the demon traits? I mean, the only other one left was Firebrand, which was the additional prayer, which is still good. Again, all these are pretty good. I thought the Bloodbound ones were not nearly as good as the demon ones. I guess I'll get your guys' take. The High Priest is 2 prayers instead of 1, which is good. I think that's the best one for me. Your thoughts on the... Did I miss something for the Bloodbound traits? I didn't think any of them were particularly that great. They were okay.
I don't know what's Gore Chosen. What does that keyword unlock there for Lord of the Gore Chosen?
Lord of the Gore Chosen. Add 1 to the attack characters of melee units for friendly Gore Chosen, wholly within 16. So that means your other mortal heroes have more attacks.
Okay.
From what I saw, the Gore, there wasn't a lot for Gore Chosen, right? So I was like, okay, sure. It's good, it's okay, but I mean, comparatively to the demon ones, I think these are just not as good.
I think it's very fun to have Lord of the Gore Chosen, just to have like an elite squad of these heroes being able to run in and smack things, especially because they all just buff each other.
Diabolic Purpose, 1 to damage characteristics. I mean, sure. I don't know. They're okay.
Yeah, I agree with your little rating there.
Yeah, nothing too crazy to write home about. Artifacts. All right, so I again, let's go back into Demon and Bloodbound. This is kind of how the whole book is set up: is the mortals versus demons. I said the demon ones are good with some standouts. Halo of Blood, I think, is like super good. The strike first, super good. You're gonna want to put this on a Bloodthirster and throw that guy in.
Definitely, I think the Halo of Blood is like probably the strongest one on that list.
Yep, I agree.
Just because it will come into play almost every single game unless your opponent shoots you off the field.
Or makes you fight last, which is what I did to him.
Right.
There you go.
Yep.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, that is. If your army can do that, right? There's a lot of armies that can't. I also think the 4-up against Mortal Wounds is pretty good too. Having a 50-50 shot on Mortal Wounds going through on a Bloodthirster is pretty good too. So
it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And then I said the Murderous Artifacts are not all that great. They're okay.
There's a 5-up ward.
Yeah,
yeah,
most of your Bloodbound heroes though can already take Glyph Feather Charm, so you should have 2 with it.
Yeah,
I
guess.
I think it was the Banner of Blood. I think
that's
the one I'm like, holy cow, that's really good.
Yeah, that's the one that I called out, was the Banner of Blood. That's the, you can reroll charge rolls, friendly Khorne units, wholly within 16 inches, which is really good.
And if I remember correctly, the Blood Secretor is like one of the really good ones in this set.
No, Blood Secretor, didn't he go down?
He's not as good as he was. He's.
I'm thinking of Bloodstoker.
Yeah, Blood Secretor's his +1 to attacks isn't all the time. Now it's just once per game.
Right. Blood Secretor's good.
I think that's amazing though.
It's still amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of Bloodstoker.
You take it.
Bloodstoker got really bad. But yeah, so I think that's good. I think it's okay. But again, these are just. I feel like the mortal side of the book is just not -1, and we'll get there. -1 unit. I think Skull Crushers are literally ridiculous. But I think that is really the only mortal that I would take. There's a couple of them, maybe.
I say Blood Secretor. Blood Secretor's real good.
Yeah.
He's worth a take.
I'm just saying, in comparison from the demons to the mortals, I feel like demons gotta.
Oh yeah, demons win on the side, but there's like 2 to 3 mortals that are actually good.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else for artifacts? We good there?
If you're gonna take anything, take the Banner of Blood. Or Halo of Blood.
Halo of Blood is super good. All right, going into prayers. These are all really, really good. Almost S tier, I think.
An
But,
army that actually specializes in prayers? Heck yeah.
I mean, you have Fire Slayers.
An army that specializes in prayers? Heck yeah.
These are all good. The one that I called out was Killer Instinct, which is answer value 3, range of 16. Pick one friendly Blades of Khorne unit, hold within range, invisible, and more than 3 inches for all enemy units. That unit can make a normal move.
Oh, you're gonna see that everywhere.
So
That's the
so good.
Stormcast Translocate prayer.
Yes.
It's just everyone's gonna take it. It's if you're not taking it, then you must have a really good plan in mind.
Keep in mind too, you can put one of these guys in the skull altar, and it doubles your range. So now you're at 32 inches that you can get a normal move for someone. This is super good. That being said, again, all of these are really, really good. So, any of these ones you want to call out? Either one of you?
All right. Bloodbind.
Yeah.
Bloodbind with the double range.
Yeah.
Is super good.
This gets these get screens out of the way for your Bloodthirster to go in and just smash.
Or if your opponent has a flying hero right below hero, and then make him move over his screen towards you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, super, super good. Bloodbind is also another Lyric Star. James, any of these else you want to call out?
Nope. Killer Instinct was my call too here.
Yeah, I think it's good. The other one that's decent too is the Blood Sacrifice. If you want to get those Blood Tide points, I think that's a good way to do it. The fact that you have that ward, because I don't think it doesn't say they can't be negated, right?
Well, so the problem with Blood Sacrifices is only 8 inches, and these are your priests that are doing it, which are usually pretty squishy. So if they're within 8 inches, you're probably not super happy about that situation.
I'm actually curious.
You hit a friendly unit. You don't have to hit an enemy unit.
Oh.
Units have a ward of 5 up while they benefit from if. Okay, hold on. So Blades of Khorne is more than 8 inches from all enemy units. It benefits from the Locus of Fury. Units that have a ward of 5 up while they benefit from Locus of Fury. So yeah,
you'll get the ward, and you just
go.
Oh, hey, Bloodletters, take D3 mortal.
Oh, you said Bloodbind. I thought you said Blood Sacrifice. My bad.
No. Blood Sacrifice. You basically D3 mortal wounds to a unit, and then you get 1 Blood Tide point, which I think is. I almost feel like it's an auto include to keep those Blood Tide points going.
And you have so many prayers, yeah.
And you've got the ward.
100% worth it.
Your Bloodletters are now 2 wounds each, so like it works really well for that. So. All the prayers are really good. They're just all rock stars. All right, let's go into subfactions. The one that I called out was, all right, I might get it. Okay, so the Bloodlords. That's the one that everyone's using. And this is on the decapitation blow, decapitating blow. This is typically their 6s on a hit do a mortal. It is on a hit, right? Not to wound.
I think it's to hit.
I'll double check. I'm pretty sure it's to hit. It changes to a 5 up instead of a 6 up. And it is a hit. It is to hit. So this is what everyone's using. I moved this up because I was looking at some of the BCP, and I feel like maybe I'm a little low. I was a little low on Bloodlords. So I think it is pretty good. I don't know if any of the other ones are, S tier. I think they're all decent. I don't think you're going to see Skullfiend try very much. The Flayed, I think you'll see somewhat.
I think my go-to would be probably Bloodlords, especially if you're doing Bloodletter spam, because Bloodletters are really good.
Yeah.
And then maybe Gore Tide, just because if you have the prayers to be able to move, you can get to your opponent, and just +1 to wound is really good.
Yep, I agree.
And then probably Reapers of Vengeance, just because the other 2 aren't amazing.
I think we'll see the Flayed just for the fact that Skull Crushers in that army are going to be ridiculous to kill.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because they are bloodbound, right? Skull Crushers are bloodbound.
One of them is, yeah, the one with the 2-up ward is. Sorry,
Yeah,
2-up save
yep.
is.
2-up save, yeah. So they have 2-up save and a 5-up ward in combat. Like that's real good. I mean, you kind of have to go into that, right? But I think Flayed is good if you want to go real tanky. Yeah. Any callouts here? Any other comments on these? They're all okay.
I think if you're Johnny, you play Bloodlords, and if you're Timmy, you play Baleful Lords.
Yeah, so I was just gonna make that comment. If you want to go all Bloodthirsters, you play Baleful Lords just for the fun.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yep, I agree with that. All right. Let's go into grand strategies. I know, James. I think you said that these were all pretty tough. I think I only put one of these.
I don't like any of these.
Yeah. So the one that I called out was Reap the Blood Tithe, which is you can play this battle or grand strategy if in every battle round after the first you spend Blood Tithe points to use a Blood Tithe reward, and you did not use the same Blood Tithe reward more than once. I think it's doable, and it's not.
That's so bad.
But
bad.
it's you can't deny it.
Yeah, you can.
Just don't die.
Yeah, don't die.
You're just not gonna.
And
you're not gonna kill me.
And you're not using all your blood tithe points to buff you, so.
And the thing is, like it stops you from using the same blood tithe.
Right. I get it.
ever again.
I get it.
So it's bad.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you guys are selling me more and more on it.
You're
when
gonna
I read
get
it
up,
at
you're
first,
gonna
I was
pick.
like, it's not. I don't know.
Oh, do you like that one blood tithe D6 movement? Well, guess what? You get it once.
Yeah.
That is it.
Want to fight in the hero phase?
I guess
once.
maybe the reason I put it on here was just because it's. I mean, I guess maybe it's deniable. I mean, if you build into it, I don't know if it is.
You're
I
gonna
don't know.
take your every Khorne army is gonna take what's theirs, because you're running across the board at your opponent anyways.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, none of these are really good, right? Right.
No.
All of these are bad.
Yeah, the other ones I did also like not very good. Disciples of Carnage, I said depending on the.
Disciples of Carnage deserves to be even less than that. You're right, because you can't use any other battle tactic except the 5 battle.
Right.
Tactics,
I think it
6 battle
depends on
tactics.
the army composition, is what I said. Because I think some of them for the battle tactics,
Some of them are doable.
yeah,
Some
they're
of
just
them
kill.
are very.
Most of them are just kill something, right? But I mean, obviously, if your opponent doesn't have a wizard, then you've automatically failed. Basically,
all of the battle tax
measure.
are doable, but not greatly doable.
Yeah, I agree.
All of
You
their
don't
battle
wanna rely-
tactics
they're-
are like
they're not-
demonizes.
They're definitely not reliable battle tactics.
Yeah.
100%.
Like the thing is, like it gives your opponent too much play into them. Like slay an enemy wizard. Well, he can redeploy.
Mhm.
Well, he can make his save rolls. Well, you can miss your save or your attack rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not reliable, so I agree with you. All right, well then, you know what? I'm going to move that down to a C. You sold me.
Purely
Camaron.
for the fact that you can't use anything else.
Cameron making me...
Just
Oh, yeah.
see the light. Yes, you're right.
I saw the light.
Alright, battle tactics. The only one I had here was the Trial of Scrolls, which was, I think, just like, kill something. You can place battle tactic if 8 or more enemy models are slain by attacks made by that unit during the start. I think that's doable. If you can't kill 8 models with this army, you're not playing.
So on
playing-
Scar, on,
You're playing Stormcast.
all you gotta do is pick Scarbrand when he's angry, and then you've got 8 mortal wounds into something.
Right.
Yep.
Done.
The
Completed.
only thing that's going to deny this is you're playing an army that doesn't have units of 8 or more.
Right. Giants. Yep. Good luck.
Giants, Stormcasts sometimes.
Yeah, and if you're in Giants, they've like you lost out on 2. 8.
Yeah. All right. Any other comments on these? You're probably going to use a lot of the other ones.
They're all not bad, but they're all not good.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I could
I
probably
think
load
all
most
those
of
are
these into C, honestly.
I just look at this list and I go, the first time you play Suns, you're gonna get maybe one of these.
Yeah.
And
Well, and then in that situation, you're just gonna look to the general handbook ones and just
Yeah.
hope and pray.
Oh, but
Pretty
wait,
much.
Joel, you took Disciples of Carnage. You don't get access to those ones.
Oh, okay. All right. We're
Exactly.
moving on. We're moving on. All right. I was wrong. I can be wrong in this stream.
Don't worry, Joel. I know you're wrong, and that's why I keep telling you.
Hey, Khorne got a battalion.
Oh,
And
yeah.
actually, I think it actually might be useful.
I don't think so.
Maybe if you run it, like if you do a bunch of, what is it, Gore Chosen?
Gore Chosen are the mortal heroes. You know what the problem is?
I think it can be doable.
The problem is if you're taking this, then you're going for the Magnificent part of this, which is just the what +1 command point,
No, Magnificent is
Plus
the
one
extra enhancement.
+1 enhancement. Yeah.
So you're getting a 1-drop and an enhancement for 5 Gore Chosen. It's not
All right.
terrible.
The one drop of this is useless. That's what I'm saying, because if you take this, you're having a minimum of a 4-drop, and that's absolute minimum. That's just with 3 battle line.
Not if you take Battle Regiment.
You can't take Battle Regiment because there's 5 of your heroes are in this.
Oh you could. You only need one. Don't you only need one, or do you need one?
think
Uh,
you
y-
only
y- yeah, you're right. So you
Yeah,
can become
I
a
think that's the
2-drop with
reason
this.
why
be a
they.
2-drop.
You could do a 2-drop.
Alright.
You could do a 2.
That is the only way. That is the only way I see this being used.
I agree.
Well,
I agree. with you.
just think about that for a second. You've got 5 points or 5 leadership slots filled with points of Gore Chosen heroes to try and get a 1-drop out of that unit and an artifact. And I would just be like, no, stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's useful. I could see people running this.
If
If
you're
you're
running
taking a bunch-
6 Gore Chosen list, then you could be a 2-drop, and I will applaud you because I think that's fun.
Hey,
All the way home.
Maybe in this. Okay, how about this? In this GHB, it's going to be more used than any other time.
I will concede to that. I agree.
I think that's the only time you're ever going to use this battalion is in this GHB. And at
I
that
think you'd
point,
see Battle Regiment more.
we're moving on.
Agreed.
I think
alright.
going first is just too important for this army, or picking to go first or go second is just too important.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It's a big deal for this army, yeah. All right, let's go into War Scrolls. Let's start with the demons, because everyone loves the demons. All of the Bloodthirsters are really good, and I think you're gonna see. And honestly, it used to be where you only saw 1 or 2 of them, right? I think now you can take any of them or all of them, and they're all real good. They all have their purpose. I was looking at the Wrath for 330. I was like, for real? I can take this thing for 330 points? I thought it was really, really good. Thoughts on this slide?
I haven't fought these guys yet, but just looking at all of their stats and going through, just all of them are just really good.
Yeah,
Just
and they're not super expensive. Like, yeah, 330 points is pretty pricey, but it's not like a Guo, right? You're not spending Guo prices or Kairos prices, right? Like, these are
or Keeper's Secret prices.
yeah, or that. Like, these are, I would take a Bloodthirster over Keeper Secrets any day, right?
So what I really like about this, if you have with these guys, is they kept them all under 400 points.
Yeah.
So if you want to say take Scarbrand and something as an ally and something else, or put him in Slaves to Darkness. I don't know. Wait, Slaves doesn't get them; they only get beasts, right?
They only get beasts for
No.
allies, but you can coalition slaves.
No. I mean, in a Slaves to Darkness army, I think you can take Khorne demons.
Oh.
Yes, I think so.
So you could take Scarbrand in your Slaves to Darkness army.
You could. You
'Cause
could.
he's 390
Oh
points.
man, I've got some ideas. That makes me think. I'd love to do that. I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, I was a big. Everyone hates it now, but I was a big Legion of the First Prince fan, and me running all kinds of demons together was like my jam. So, I like the fact that I can do that in Slaves. It's nice.
Yeah. And then if you're not taking him, you could always take the Bloodthirster of Incessant Rage because he's also a beat stick.
Yep.
And he's how many points is he? Is he 200 and? That's the one with the mortal wounds.
Are you talking about unfettered or
Incessant Rage is the one with the big.
They're all 330 except for Scarbrand at 380.
Okay, so yeah, at 330, he's real good for a beat stick. If you need to ally in a beat stick in your army, he's got like a 6-inch range. I mean, you don't really need the ward save on him anyways. And like his axe went from D6 damage to D3 plus 3, and that guy freaking slaps.
Yes,
Dude,
holy cow!
If you're gonna go into Bloodthirsters though, like I don't know, man. I really like the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. You put him with like Incensant Rage, and they fight one after another, and you can use a command point without it being spent. They both slap. I mean, they're that Wrath.
What we're being to say is all Bloodthirsters are good.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? That's what we're gonna end up saying. You're gonna take at least one of these probably. In every Khorne list, you're gonna take one of these.
I'm just saying the combo that's happened against me in every single game I've played against Khorne. They take a Bloodthirster of Incessant Rage. They take first turn. They put Killing Instinct on him, so he moves in the hero phase 12 inches. Then he moves another 12 inches in the move phase, so he's moved 24 inches now. And then they try to charge him into something, and whatever he charges dies. And they try to fish for 6s to get mortal wounds on everything within 8. So you can lose a good chunk of your army if you're not careful turn 1.
I was watching, for people that watch Season of War, I watched one of their battle reports. And this dude went in, the Insensate Rage went in, and he did 40 mortal wounds to everything around him. And I was like, are you for real? For 330 points, sign me up. I want one. I'll take 2.
It's so good.
So good.
It's so good.
He's amazing.
So good. Now, that being said, he'll die to a switch freeze, but it's fine.
He dies and is swingy, but he's so good.
Hey, you know what, though?
If you're going first, and he moves 24 inches.
And even if you get the second turn, he still has a 5 aboard, right?
Yep.
So that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, fair.
So, all right. Skull Taker and Karnak are bad. Moving on.
I used to love Skull Taker too. He was so much fun.
It's just not good, man. He's slow and he's just not good.
Yeah.
All right. So on here, obviously my favorite on this whole list right here is obviously the Bloodletters. What a glow up they got. They are absolutely fantastic now. They're still slow, but they have a 5-up save. Now they're 2 wounds each.
That's the biggest thing. Just 2 wounds each.
2 attacks, 3s and 3s, baby, -1, and every 6 is a mortal. That is so good. I am all about the Bloodletters now. They're really good.
And like, how many points are they? They're just cheap.
I think
If
I can tell you.
correctly.
They are. Well, no, they're not cheap. They're 180 points. They're pretty pricey.
180 points for 20 wounds.
I mean, yeah. Right.
Especially with the ability to resurrect D3 of them.
Yeah. And you can do decapitating the decapitating blow on a 5-up. Like if you're building into the Bloodletters, these guys can slap.
Yeah. If you're not building into Bloodletters, I think Fleshhounds are still pretty good too.
Okay.
That's fair.
I think they're 4 attacks each or something like that.
I think the only reason I didn't have them higher is because whenever I think of a Fleshhound or a Direwolf or anything like that, see, they're 100 points for 5 of them, Nothing,
Way
and
too
maybe it's because of Cameron. Maybe Cameron did this to me. Nothing from a dog family is better than direwolves.
Dire
I'm sorry.
wolves.
Direwolves are so stupid good. You get 10 of them. They're dirt cheap. They do exactly what you need them to do. I love direwolves, and that's why I can't mark any of these stupid dogs as higher than a direwolf because direwolves are just OP.
I just when I've played against flesh hounds in my last game, um, what they did was they used them to clear my screens, and flesh hounds hit above weight going into units that are screens,
Fair.
and so that's why I liked flesh hounds right now.
Yeah, I agree. They have their place, and they're cheap. I just for 5 of them, I don't know, man. I don't know. I could see them in the list. That's
There's
fine.
not that many models, but you know what they are good for? Getting those blood tithe points. Oh no, you killed some flesh hounds.
Fair, very
But,
fair. I agree with you on that. No, the Bloodmasters, obviously, everyone's taking multiples of these, and at first I was like, why? But I guess it's because of the prayer, right? Is that what we decided?
Yep. They're priests now, cheap priest.
They're a cheap priest. They get the +1 to wound for a demon. Oh, is it? Wait. Oh no, it's only pick one in it. It's for all demon units that go into that enemy unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
you basically you sit them in the skull throne, you use them to cast Killer Instinct, and then if anything gets close, you put the +1 to wound on them.
Okay, so the reason that I marked them, because at first I marked them a lot lower, because they were 5-inch move, and I was like, these things are slow, they're gonna die to a swift breeze, but being in the skull altar, these changed these guys completely, because now you have way more range on the prayers that you cast or that you pray on. So
I
yeah.
love going slightly towards this. I love the blood throne. It's so
Okay.
amazing.
I marked it B+. I thought it was pretty good. I don't remember what it did. Was it this?
One thing and one thing only. It's a priest, and its prayer can bring back a single blood crusher, or
D6
blood letters.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Bloodstone is pretty good.
No, what was that? 12 wounds just got resurrected right in front of you.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you on that, dude. I might get one of those just for that.
And I love the model.
Yeah. I also marked the Skull Cannon as A-. It's a really good artillery unit for Khorne, right? Like, am I wrong? Like
It's been a while. I don't. What is this?
Eight,
the Skull Cannon?
So Skull Cannon, range of 18, 4 attacks, 3s, -2 D3 damage. That's
140 points, 8-inch move. It's okay.
I think it's pretty good, and it's also pretty good in combat too. I mean, it's okay, I guess. But I mean, for an artillery,
all around
Khorne,
okay.
Yeah, I think
it's
good.
not amazing. It's okay. It gives a okay ranged capability for.
Okay,
a
it's not an
melee.
Iron Blaster. Okay, all right.
No.
All right.
Say I could take more blood letters. Why are you showing me a
All
skull
right,
cannon?
Well, you know that
that's
ranged
fair.
threat. I just think I would have never thought anything in Khorne would have good shooting in it. I thought it was.
It has shooting, and it's not horrible shooting. It's okay shooting.
Can I also say, I'm very disappointed for someone who's invested in 12 Blood Crushers. That they, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're way better. They are way better than their previous version. But it makes me sad because no one's going to take those. They're going to take Skull Crushers over Blood Crushers any day of the week.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad.
It's interesting that they get the if you take Blood Lords, they get the 5-up for Blood Crushers, so that they're doing mortal wounds on a 5-up because they have the blood letter keyword. So I don't know if
is it blood letter keyword or blood letter host?
I think it's blood letter keyword.
It is blood letter keyword. So yes, they would get the 5-up.
So you can't, if you do need, like, if you're trying to run all demons, I don't think the Blood Crushers are a terrible choice. Like,
Well, good, because I have 12 of them.
they can do some mortal wounds. They're faster than the blood letters. Yeah, I don't hate these guys. 3-up save. I mean,
They're not horrible. They got a glow up.
They
Yeah,
definitely
they've got-
a lot.
They got the ward when they're outside of shooting. So
Again, the reason I marked them so low is because you're gonna take the Skull Crushers instead. I think they're just better.
if you're bloodbound, you might take a unit of these.
Yeah, I guess. Skull Crushers are gonna be so hard to take down. Like those things are gonna be obnoxious.
Yes, very hard.
All right. Anything else on the first list of demons as we go on to the second? Good here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go into this. Okay. I want to get. Okay. So I have 2 things on here. Actually, 3. I want to talk about 3 things on here.
All right.
Corgus Cole. Is he not great? Am I crazy? Like for
You
160
use him
points?
in that bloodbound unit where everyone's dying and you're just throwing more murder dice at people.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what you do to build into it.
I think he's extremely good. It's just for 160 points. I think he's fantastic. He is slow. He is slow. So he's got that. He's got a 3-up save though. What else? Lord of Khorne. If you're gonna take Skull Crushers, you're obviously taking a Lord of Khorne. This is also gonna unlock them as battle line.
I feel like I don't want to jump in there, but Corgus Cole to me, his war scroll just screams a Timmy trap. Like you can see Timmy taking this guy with the dream that one day he's gonna get 2 of those. He's gonna get those wounds through on Archeon and roll that 5 up. Slay it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but even then, like even take that ability out, he slaps. First off, he's not a slouch. 6 attacks, 3 threes, -2 damage. It's not bad.
If the next GHB does something with unique foot heroes, I think he's golden.
Yeah, all right. I mean, that's fair. I mean, he doesn't get all the benefits that you do in this GHB, that's for sure. But
yeah,
I think he's. I just for 160 points, I thought he was like, yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Lord of Khorne, obviously, again, 2-up save. The dude's crazy good. You're gonna put him in with Skull Crushers.
Yep.
And then the other one that I wanted to call out was maybe it's just because I like the damn model, but Vika or Valkia or whatever the heck her name is.
Yeah.
She's super. I think she's pretty good. She's
really
low
like
wounds, but you drop her and you just throw her into something.
When I first saw her and saw the models, what I immediately thought of was I'm going to go ahead and ally this person into other armies.
I mean, I'm just looking at the scroll. You drop her 9 inches. You roll on a 2-up. It takes whatever the roll for mortal wounds is. And then
What's her move? Is it
12.
10 inches? 12? If she wasn't named, if she
I
wasn't
know, she'd be
unique,
fantastic.
she'd be so good.
Yeah, she'd be
So
fantastic.
good.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. But she is named, so that is a bummer. But I still think for trying to kill something in the back line that no one's, you're not worried that the opponent's not worried about. I think she gets in there and she does damage.
She's a great hero sniper.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
100%. Yep. I like her for that.
And she's not that expensive, if I remember correctly.
Right. She is. Let's see, Valkia
140
is-
points.
Yeah, that's really good for 140 points.
Exactly. First thing I thought of was like, I'm going to ally her in to another army.
Yeah, that's actually a really good. Because I mean, you don't care about the add 3 bravery characters to the bloodbound. You don't give a shit about that.
No,
but
do not care.
But the war scroll, her war scroll itself is I could see her in allied armies for sure, 100%.
She has a 5-up ward. She has a 3-up save, 6 wounds,
12-inch
12-inch
move,
flying.
and she
I
hits 5
I
attacks,
put
3
her in
threes,
the
-2.
sky.
Yeah.
I put her in the sky straight up, and I have a very good chance to be able to damage one, and a 1/3 chance to kill a support hero.
Yeah. Probably more than that if you get.
5 to 6. If I roll a 5 or 6 on that little drop down.
Well, then you charge her, and you just gotta kill.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you have to get a 9-inch charge, but you just charge her into whatever you're going into, right? And that's something that the opponent's gonna have to worry about now. So.
Yep. And if your opponent doesn't take care of her, she's going to go wherever she wants. And did you kill her? Oh, that was 140 points. Oh.
Yeah. And thank you for the blood type point.
Yep.
Blood dive.
Anything else on this list? I said Scar Bloodwrath is slow. He could be a potential suicide bomber, but meh.
Meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
All right. Cool. Moving on. This one I didn't have anything really on here except for the Bloodsecrator. Man, Slaughter Priests. How the good times have gone. Right?
Rolled away.
Yeah. He's no longer what he used to be. He's a cheap
I think-
priest. He's a cheap priest, so you have that going for you. But he's not the Slaughter Priest he used to be.
I feel like your slide here should have been that meme where the guy's walking with the chick, and the chick is the slaughter priest, and then looks back at the bloodmaster.
For real, that's actually a good one. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Maybe I need to start doing that. Maybe I need to start putting more meme pictures in here. It's actually pretty funny. I can see that.
I absolutely love the
Yeah.
Bloodsecrator.
I got
Yep,
you.
that
Yeah.
one.
I got you.
I just think he's so amazing for the army. He's cheap. He's like what 110 points, and it's just once per game when you really need it. Everybody has +1 attack characteristic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
4
it's not-
rallies. So
Oh
good.
yeah, it's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, I probably need to move him into like an A. Just
If
base
only it
A.
was on Khorne units, Blade of Khorne units, instead of just Bloodbound.
Yes.
Because
but
you want to pair him with Bloodletters anyways.
Yeah. And the other thing that just makes it even better is the artifact for a 16-inch, wholly within 16 inches of reroll charge.
You know what? That's
That's
Yeah, I'm
such
definitely
a
moving him
massive
up.
area.
Yeah, I think he's an
I,
A.
for
I think
some
he's
reason
an
I
A.
thought the Rage of Khorne, the ability, the once per battle, I thought there was a range in it, but it's literally just.
No.
Nope, he just goes, my banner's down.
110 points, banners
so I have a-
down,
I have a
everyone's
question.
buffed.
Just
I
so
have-
good.
I
So
have a
good.
question.
Mhm.
Wait, hold on. Alright. Can you. Does this stack
With what?
with another Bloodsecrator?
Does it say once per game for everyone with this ability?
No, just at the start of the combat phase, you can pick one friendly unit on the battlefield with this ability.
Yeah, one friendly unit.
Oh, bummer. I was gonna say, let's go into Bloodsecrator stonks. Just go.
Nope.
Mass
No stonks
Bloodsecrator.
for you, sir.
Yeah, all right.
Nope.
Trying to abuse the system, and that's what happens. All right, I moved it to A plus because it is really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And
It's the wizard that you need when the time comes. Exactly when you need it. And he's not even a wizard.
And he's
Well-
not gonna miscast.
well, and he's not a priest. Keep in mind too, he's not a priest either.
Yep. Oh, you don't need to be a priest.
If he was a priest,
He's invited to all my parties.
All right. Anything else on this that you guys want to talk about?
Nah.
Next is some of the battle line here. Exalted Deathbringer. Why did I like him? Add 1 to hit rolls within 8 inches for Bloodbound. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Um,
wholly within.
Wholly within 8
Which
inches.
makes it
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
it a lot.
It's such
worse.
a small area.
Unmodified save roll for an attack made with melee weapons and targets is. Yeah, so I had to read this like 3 times.
All
And
they
he only
really
has a
need,
5-up save too.
they just needed to make it 12 inches. Like, I hate when GW does like, oh, this will be 6 or 8 inches. This 8 inches is thematic because it's Khorne's number, but guys, it just makes it so
Okay,
hard to play
so-
with them.
Okay, so if the unmodified save roll for an attack made with a melee weapon that targets a unit armed with a ruinous axe is 6, the attacking unit suffers D3 mortal wounds after all of its attacks have been resolved. So that, God,
So
why
you
is
only get it. You only get it once. Oh wait, no. After
No.
is it any or all?
if the unmodified save roll, so it's all save rolls.
So it could be a good suicide bomber, and that's
Right,
about it.
right. You throw them in there, and if they roll 6s, they just take D3 mortals. That's a lot. I mean, that guy could be pretty good.
It's a threat, but it's
Oh, I marked him as an A minus, so it's. What else is on here that was decent?
Alright, I had to say something about the Wrathmongers. I think Wrathmongers are absolutely amazing just because of their +1 to attack characteristic thing. It's so great, and I hate the model with a burning passion.
They're just so slow. And you get 5, or you only get 5 of them, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 wounds at like a 5-up save.
Are you gonna take that over something else though?
+1 to attack characteristic is so good.
The thing is, so with my thing with Wrathmongers is they need something there with them. So you're paying for their points, and then you have to pay for it to be with something else. I literally had these guys crash into a unit of Ungor and not kill them. I think there was only 3 left at that point, but still, it was only 10 Ungor, and then 10 Ungor were like killing them.
Oh yeah, you only use them to buff other people. They're the buff piece.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
but
think they're too slow to be that buff piece.
I agree.
What's their movement?
5 inches.
Oh yeah, definitely not good. No.
I mean, you do have blood ties that you can move them, but like I just don't. I'm gonna
My
take
prayers
something
are
else.
32
probably.
inches. I get an extra prayer or a unit of Wrathmongers.
Like, yeah, I just don't think I'm gonna take them over something else. Is my problem. And again, we're gonna come to that at the summary of this book. The internal balance of this book is not great.
They are only 140 points.
I know, but like.
Oh, wait, I just read it. They have to be wholly within 8 inches, not 12. Nope, don't like it anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we're on the same page. We're moving on. Blood
Khorne's
Warriors.
number.
I said Blood Warriors are the best generic battle line. I mean, I'm from a mortal perspective, right? 3-up
Not Mighty
save.
Skull Crushers.
No, well, no. So Skull Crushers, I'm saying a
Battle line base.
a locked battle line.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I
So
think
it's
they're probably the best.
190 points for 20 wounds at a 3-up save.
I mean, you're paying that for Bloodletters. Paying 10 more.
You said 190.
190 points.
You're paying 180 for 20 wounds for Bloodletters.
And they do have access to a -2 rend.
Yep.
On one unit, on one model.
And
Right?
well, no. So what you're doing with these guys is you're taking these in at least 20s, right? Because when they die, you take 2 murder rolls instead of 1. So in
So
that
you're trying
case,
to get the extra.
you're trying to get the extra mortals. I think they're good. I think they're really good battle.
And you can also make it so that any, let's see, any save of 6 does a mortal back to your opponent.
I think that's good.
Like, yeah, I think they're decent.
I think they're the best mortal battle line, but locked battle line. I think that's.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you have any other options now I'm thinking about it, but
I worry at 190. They're really close to taking something like Chaos Warriors to fill in that role. Like they can't be battle line, but you can make something else battle line, and then they can fit in that tanky, kind of slappy hit back unit. Because the Blood Warriors don't have a ward save. The Chaos Warriors would. They're 2 wounds
yeah,
as
but
well.
remember these are battle line too. You can't do that with Chaos Warriors.
Yeah. Oof.
I will say, jokes on me. They are the only mortal locked battle line units. So jokes on me.
Skull Reavers aren't?
Yeah. No.
Blood Reavers?
Blood Warriors.
Blood Reavers are battle line.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
Blood
Blood
Reavers
Reavers are
are.
battle line. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep. So you can.
And
So
I just want to let you know, a crap ton of Blood Reavers take 20 units of these guys, and then just go, ha 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 ha, I have a crap ton of Blood Tithe points.
Blood Tithe.
Are you taking the Blood Reavers over the Blood Warriors?
Me personally,
I'm not. I'm
I
taking
think
the
you
Blood
take
Warriors.
Reavers.
I'm taking the Warriors.
I take Reavers because they're 1 wound each. The Blood Warriors are 2, even if they're getting 2 murder rolls. That's basically the same thing as taking Reavers. And I can bring back more Reavers with a 4-up rally from my Blood Secretor.
I mean, you can take it with. You can do that with the Blood Warriors too, though.
No, because so like, if I have 10 Blood Warriors, I'd have 20 Blood Reavers.
I would take the Blood Reavers
That's fair.
just for a screening unit. It's a very cheap screening unit
Alright,
that
alright,
rewards
yeah.
me for you
Okay.
killing my screen.
Okay, alright. I mean, the Blood Reavers are super cheap, right? They're super cheap.
Yeah.
So
Though I
in
would
that
take
case,
the Blood Warriors for like an anvil.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
An
I'm with
Anvil
you.
Blood Warrior? Yeah.
I mean, they're
Okay.
3
Yeah,
up save, 2 wounds
I
Three
each.
just-
save. They
I'm
punish
just saying, like,
you, and they
if you-
punish you for attacking me.
If you want your battle line to be an anvil, yes. But I feel like you wouldn't play into that. You would be like, I'll take Chaos Warriors. Khorne Chaos Warriors as my anvil.
I don't know.
I think
just
we're
Or Mighty Skull Crushers. I should probably
Mighty
just do.
Skull Crushers. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, Mighty
I'm
Skull
going to be
Crushers
taking
is-
Mighty Skull Crushers over
Yeah.
the Blood Warriors every day.
Yeah,
Oh, and
I'm gonna make the battle line.
I want to make sure because I said something on here, and I know the YouTube's is going to be, they're going to be calling me out here. I said the Bloodstoker was bad. I meant the Slaughter Priest. The Bloodstoker is fantastic. The Bloodstoker is super good. So I apologize. I'm taking that back. I meant the Slaughter Priest. That was the one that went real bad. But the Bloodstoker is fantastic. The run-in charge is real good. Run-in charge is always really good. So, yeah. Anything else on these guys?
Yeah.
Let's move on. I think we have 2 more before we get into the allies. All right. The only one I have on here that's worth a note is the Mighty Skull Crushers, because stonks, baby. Stonks.
Mm-hmm. Way up
Oh
stonks.
gosh, they are. So
2
good.
up save, 5 wounds each. Yeah, these guys, and they are pretty good in combat. Yeah, I'm all day, every day.
Stonks, baby.
Yeah, stonks on Skull Crushers.
And everything else on that list is.
Staying in my closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Everything else on this list is meh. I think there's. We'll get to that in a second. I think that's on the next slide. All right, cool. So we're moving on. Hey, Steven. The book is good. It's way better than it was. The internal balance is awful, which means it's hard to decide what models to take, and when you do decide the models to take, you're never going to take anything else. But their blood tithe points are probably one of the strongest mechanics in the game. So you have that going for you. Last we have these guys. I actually like Scylla or Scylla or whatever you pronounce. The 8-inch. You're in combat within 8 inches is insane to me. Like, what? Is this the world we've come to? Where you can be eligible to fight when you're within 8 inches? Right? Really?
Yeah, it's Khorne's number. They have to put all their auras somewhere.
That's crazy. Plus, that model is cool looking. I don't know. Is that a resin model? Does anyone know?
No idea.
I've never seen it. Never seen it on the table. So I was just curious. I thought these were just okay. Both of them were okay.
Yeah.
I really like the 8-inch in combat. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I like that Salia model. I like the Korgorath model too. Like, one day I hope they're real good because I would not mind just buying them to paint.
I have a choreograph in it because it comes in the start collecting. I think I have one of them, and it's okay. It's all right. Decent tech points. All right, moving on. Skull Altar, pretty good. Okay, I have a question on this. I have an FAQ question on this.
Okay.
They didn't look at this. Well, I guess it's not really an FAQ question as so much as it is they need to reword Witchbane because it doesn't make any sense the way it's worded. Well, any terrain features with this scenery rule are on the battlefield. If a spell is miscast, the caster suffers D6 mortal wounds instead of D3. That's no longer an ability anymore, right?
For what?
If a enemy casts a spell, they don't take D3, right? Is that a
No,
is
they
that a
take
thing?
D6.
Well, yes, if that's on the board, why does it say D3? Where did that come from?
The
What?
miscast roll?
Yeah, miscast roll. The miscast
Oh,
rules.
God, I'm so stupid. If this team was on the back, oh, it spells miscast. I was just thinking if they didn't cast it. I was thinking of the
Nope.
old rules.
No. Double
My bad.
ones.
Double
I'm
ones.
bad. I'm an idiot. So I'm gonna absolutely remove that. Okay, it was a long night when I read this. Okay, that's my excuse.
Of course.
Okay, never mind. Still good. Still, the Skull Altar is super good. It's obviously not included because it doesn't cost any points. You get double the range of your prayers. And what was the last thing? Oh, you can reroll chance, which is insane.
Mhm.
So, Skull Altar turns out still good.
Skull Altar's like a must-have.
Yeah,
Must have.
must have. Super good. Moving to Invocations. Alright, so I'm curious on your guys' thoughts on this. My favorite is obviously the Bleeding Icon. I would put this in any of my Khorne lists. Because, again, you're using a Meteor on a big pack of an enemy unit somewhere, and then you put this next to it, and you're like, okay, bye-bye. And you kill a bunch of stuff with this. So I think the Bleeding Icon is definitely my favorite. Hex Gorger's fine. Wrath Axe I think is too expensive. Thoughts?
Can you move the bleeding icon?
Yes, you can.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty good then.
Yeah.
Hex Gorger skulls used to be better, but they reduced the range down to only 8 inches. I think it used to be much better than that. But it's still not a bad choice to just like throw at some wizards.
Yep, I agree. Yep. Cameron, anything on here?
The Bleeding Icon's just so cheap. It's so
Yeah.
great.
It's so good, and you use that meteor on something, man, and it's just so good. That meteor is just so good. It's one of
Especially
my
if your
favorite
opponent does
abilities.
not have a priest to get rid of all these invocations.
Yep.
We're looking at you, Gloomspite Gits, and wanting your
Hey.
3 inspiring presence.
Don't take anything away from my Gloomspite. All right, moving on.
All of death.
Let's go to allies. This was a short list because it's just beasts, right? I just had Cockatrice in here.
It's not horrible.
But do you really need it? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think you put this behind Skull Crushers, and you just watch your Skull Crushers just
Yeah,
move
but
around
that
the
means
board as
you
they
have
want.
to keep the cockroaches up with the storm crushers.
Yeah, I think the Skull Crushers are fine by themselves. I don't think your Bloodletters are going to have a problem surviving. I think they're going to be blenders themselves. Like the Chaos Gargant, maybe if you want some extra rend, is what I see out of this.
Did you notice I put C- for Chaos Guardian?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I point both of you guys to that.
You just want to keep making me salty about that.
Oh, Joel. We already know that you're wrong. So.
Use your guys' Chaos Guardian. I don't care. All right. Speaking of Gargants, let's go into this. I still think both of these are viable in this army. I think Kronspine is still good in here.
I don't know.
I don't think he's an A. I think
Yeah.
he might be a B. He's just
Okay.
too much points for an anvil like that.
Too
Yeah.
many points for an army that wants things to die.
Yep.
I mean,
Very want to be in your face. Don't need a
you
Kronspine
can also
to be there.
kill things too. You don't have to just suicide bomb yourself.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Oh, all right. I'll move it down to a B. I might be a little bit up on the Kronspine.
Because would you rather take Kronspine or a screen and then Scarbrand?
Or even Bloodthirster,
Yeah.
right? You're giving up a Bloodthirster for a Kronspine. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'll see if there's any lists out there that run it. I'd be curious. Kronspine is just, I still think to this day, it's just such good utility for what it is. It's
good in everything, but it's not amazing in everything.
I agree with you. It's definitely a threat that your opponent has to deal with. All right, well then we'll move on. In the spells, this is a laugh. This is a joke. The only thing you really can do is put an Arcane Tome, but you're never going to cast an endless spell with this. One, you're not going to spend the points on it, and two, you're going to use Mystic Shield over an endless spell. So all of these are bad.
I want to laugh at the person who's using Larkon to move one of his core chosen forward.
I mean, honestly, it's not a bad idea.
I like It's true. I think that's probably you put it at an F, but I think that is like the best thing
All right,
can
you know
do.
what? Now I'm thinking about this. Now the only problem with this, right, is you're disregarding some of the artifacts that Khorne already have access to that are decent.
Yeah.
But
But
you
hey, if
could,
you do it right, you will also have that 5-up ward.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna move this up. I'm gonna go C.
Like out of everything here, I think
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No. We'll go even a B minus, and we'll say shenanigans.
Yep, just fun shenanigans. That's all.
I mean, that is funny. I didn't think about it, but that's a good point. You could use Lachon to to move some of these guys. Yeah, that's interesting. That's pretty funny.
You can watch on to move one guy.
Well, yeah, one guy, right? Yeah. Anything else is garbage. All right. All right. So we're to the summary. We have finished the book. All right. So here are my takes on the summary for Khorne. In my opinion, I think the internal balance for this book is really bad. I think there are tons of hero scrolls that can be a nightmare, especially for new players to determine what to take. Because like a lot of them are very so-so, and then when you find out like from good lists, you're only going to take those heroes, which means the internal balance is really bad. So I do think that again the internal balance is bad in this book. I think the blood tithe points are extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any nerf coming to this. I mean, we'll see as this tome progresses. But those blood tithe points are very very strong. Support pieces are very important in this army. There are some situations where you don't need a support piece, like the bloodthirsters can do things on by themselves. But a lot of the small little heroes give you those like run and charge or +1 to attacks or stuff like that. So the support pieces are pretty key. But they're also pretty tanky, so that's also pretty good for Khorne as well. So that's pretty good. And then my last comment is I'm not sure how this book's gonna age. I feel like some of the other battle tomes, I have a good feeling that they'll age well. I don't know how well this is gonna age. I think it's definitely a better book than it used to be. Obviously, it's a better book than it used to be, but I don't know. I don't know how the history of this book will go as we get to new GHBs and new AOS versions. So those are my takes on the summary. I'll go to James first. What are your thoughts?
I think this book, if it had a good grand strategy to go with, if it had a really good grand strategy, and it had maybe one or two really good battle tactics, I think this army would have slapped, and it would have taken some tournaments, some events. I think as it sits now, I think you're gonna have two flavors. You're gonna have demons. You're gonna have your. I don't see a mix. I see demons, or you're gonna run bloodletter spam with bloodthirsters, or you're gonna have mighty skull crusher spam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the two choices you got, and if they're strong, I think those are very strong options. Just needs to be able to get battle tactics and grand strategies. You're gonna kill, but are you going to score points? And that's where we're looking at with them. So I still think they're a B. I think they're a very fun B, though. Like,
Yeah.
if
I
you
agree.
want to have fun with your bloodthirsters and your bloodletters, this is going to be a great time for you.
The fact that you said where you gave the comment where you said it's either skull crushers or bloodletter spam, that to me right there like already tells me that I go back to it over and over again. The internal balance of this book is just not great because you're going to lean into those units, and that's the rest of the book is going to suffer because you're not going into the other stuff, right? Cameron, what are your
take
thoughts?
You put it perfectly. It's a very fun B. I think there's a lot of really, really fun things you can do at this, but I think a lot of the really, really fun things are not that competitive.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
Yep.
20 units of Reavers, of Blood Reavers. I want to see that.
I don't know. I think it might be viable. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I will say, as of right now, from what I'm showing in BCP, people are having a lot of success with the new Khorne book. So that's really, really good. We'll see how it goes as time goes on.
Once people learn how to screen really well, then
Yeah.
I think they're going to lose a lot.
It's kind of what we talked about with the Slanesh book. I think once people figure it out, it'll drop, right? Because right now it's pretty hot, but I think as time goes on, people will learn how to play against it.
I think it drops harder than Slanesh, though.
Mhm.
Like,
I agree.
it ju-
I agree. All right, that's the summary. So what do we got coming up? So I don't know what happened with the Slanesh review we did, but it got a ton of views really quickly. It's our best viewed video. So that's
we're
cool.
looking at that.
Yeah, so that's really cool that happened. I really hope that if you guys are liking the content, if you guys can subscribe to the YouTube channel, that'd be great. It helps get our name out there, and I'd really like to grow the community. I really want to do a Discord channel and get that going, and really increase just House of Hobbies as a general thing. So in order to do that, it'd be real nice to get some more subscribers to the YouTube channel. So if you could do that, it'd be awesome. Obviously, put comments down of what you guys want to see, what we can do better. I'm reading those comments and making sure I respond to them. So just some cleanup items, as far as subscribe, like, comment, that type of thing. It really helps the channel out. Coming up, I know we've got some death books coming out in a couple weeks, so we'll do some reviews on that. I know Cameron's going to be excited to do those books because he is a death player at heart.
Yes, I am.
So that'll be fun. Other than that, we are starting some events are taking place that we're getting ready for. So we're prepping for that. So we're excited for that. But yeah, so that's kind of what's coming up. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to throw out there before we go offline?
No, I can't wait to do some death, and we need to have more games.
Agreed. I need to be playing a lot more. So hopefully I can do that. James, anything last comments? Good luck with the baby.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm excited. Hopefully I can get invited for the Soul Blight review. I really love that army as well. Maybe not OBR though. Not so much for me.
Oh,
You don't like Bone Daddy and his Bony Boys?
No, that never really liked that aesthetic.
I'm gonna see if Erica could come on for OBR because she's a big OBR player. I like Bone Reapers. I think they're awesome. Morghast is one of my favorite models in the game. I think the Morghast Harbingers are.
I do own some of those because they're that cool.
Yes,
and I use them. I used to use them in Legions of Nagash.
That's exactly where I used them too.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I will talk to you guys next week. Have a good night, and we will talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.